The tension in the Middle East has just taken a dangerous new turn, and this time Britain is right in the firing line. After a dramatic move by Donald Trump, Iran has issued a direct and chilling warning that's now echoing through British military circles. A once quiet outpost in the Indian Ocean could become the epicenter of a global flashpoint, and the UK may be dragged into a conflict it never asked for. So, what exactly did Trump say? And why is Iran suddenly threatening to target British forces? Let's unpack it. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. A chilling threat from Tehran has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles and military bases across the globe. In a bold and dangerous escalation, Iran has warned that if former US President Donald Trump authorizes any strike on Iranian soil, British forces could become collateral damage, or worse, direct targets. This threat isn't vague, it's specific. Iran has named the British-controlled Chagos Islands, particularly the Diego Garcia military base, as a potential target. It's a strategic joint UK-US base nestled in the Indian Ocean, and now it's in Tehran's crosshairs. The warning came directly from a senior Iranian military official speaking to The Telegraph. His message was blunt: if Iran is attacked from any regional base, whether in Bahrain, Qatar, or Diego Garcia, there will be no distinction made between American and British soldiers. When the time comes, he said, it won't matter whether you're an American, British, or Turkish soldier, you will be targeted. That is the language of war. And it marks a significant shift in how Iran is positioning itself against not just the US, but its closest allies. The escalation is being tied to recent moves by Trump, who has reintroduced his infamous maximum pressure campaign, a strategy aimed at economically crippling Iran and preventing it from acquiring nuclear weapons. In typical Trump fashion, the message was delivered with equal parts bluster and warning. Very bad things will happen, he said, if Iran refuses to negotiate a new nuclear deal. But Tehran isn't blinking. Iranian state media has doubled down on its ability to strike, citing advanced missile technology, including updated Khorramshahr intermediate-range missiles and the Shahed 136B suicide drone, which has a staggering range of 4,000 kilometers. That range comfortably puts Diego Garcia and several other allied bases within striking distance. And this isn't just talk. Satellite imagery revealed that B-2 Spirit stealth bombers capable of penetrating deep into Iranian airspace and hitting hardened underground nuclear sites have been deployed to Diego Garcia in recent days. Their presence was likely noticed by Tehran, and now the message coming from Iran is unmistakable. If you strike us from there, we will strike you there. The UK government has responded with a strong condemnation. A spokesman stated, "We condemn these threats in the strongest terms. The UK government continues to work with partners across the region to encourage de-escalation." They stress that Diego Garcia remains a vital component of both UK and US military operations, essential not only to regional stability, but to broader international security. Still, that may not be enough to ease fears. Iran has also hinted at other potential targets, including the US Navy's base in Bahrain, which is just a stone's throw from the UK's own Royal Navy logistics hub. In short, Britain's footprint in the region, once seen as strategically safe, is now being painted with a bullseye. To make matters even more complex, the Chagos Islands, and Diego Garcia in particular, are currently in the middle of a geopolitical transition. The UK plans to hand over sovereignty of the islands to Mauritius, a move that could weaken Britain's long-term presence. However, under the proposed deal, the UK would lease Diego Garcia back from Mauritius at a cost of around £90 million per year, allowing military operations to continue. But if tensions keep rising, that lease may soon come under serious scrutiny. So where does this leave the West? Donald Trump's return to the global stage has once again turned Iran into a powder keg. His threats are being met with counter-threats. His pressure campaign is being answered with promises of force. And the once unthinkable scenario, British troops being targeted in a conflict they didn't start, is now on the table. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has publicly banned direct negotiations with the US, saying that nothing would be solved by talking to Washington. Yet, there are glimmers of diplomacy, however faint. Iran confirmed that it responded to Trump's latest outreach via Oman, not fully rejecting dialogue, but not embracing it either. It's a high-stakes game of chess, and no one seems ready to fold just yet. But with rhetoric this sharp, with weapons this powerful, and with alliances this tangled, it won't take much to push this standoff into something far more dangerous. The question now isn't if something will happen, it's when, and who will pay the price when it does. In other news, Labour's war on wealth is expected to leave a tax revenue shortfall of almost £1 billion amid a fresh exodus of high earners, damning analysis has revealed. Rachel Reeves's changes, the so-called non-doms, is set to kick in on April 6th. The Chancellor had initially promised to abolish non-dom status once and for all, as it enables millionaires to avoid paying British tax on foreign income and capital gains. Reeves has since proposed axing a Tory exemption that would have let non-doms move money into an offshore trust before the new regime takes effect, thereby allowing them to avoid paying inheritance tax. Dozens of Labour rebels heap pressure on Number 11 to renew a tax rate on high earners after the Chancellor used her spring statement to announce cuts to Britain's ballooning benefits bill of around £4.3 billion. The government's own impact assessment showed welfare cuts will push 250,000 Britons into poverty, including 50,000 children. However, the decision to alter non-dom rules will likely prompt thousands of millionaires to flee Britain. Indian entrepreneur Lakshmi Mittal, who moved to London in 1995, is expected to leave the UK. Friends of the former Labour donor claim the industrialist is exploring his options ahead of the major change. However, analysis by Evelyn Partners found that a non-dom exodus could leave the UK facing a multi-billion-pound shortfall. The wealth advisory firm predicts that more than 1 in 4 non-doms will leave the UK. A report from Oxford Economics found that a departure rate of 32% would see the Treasury hemorrhage around £900 million annually by 2029/30. Industry insiders have also warned that the government's financial projections were based on a flawed study showing just a fraction of non-doms would leave for pastures new. However, British Stand understands that Italy, Portugal, the United Arab Emirates and Switzerland have all been making their own tax regimes more competitive to accommodate for disgruntled millionaires looking to flee Britain. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage and Shadow Business Secretary Andrew Griffith have both warned that an exodus could leave ordinary British workers footing the bill for the lost revenue. Griffith told the media, "The exodus of talented wealth creators is fast turning into a crisis for the government. These are top investors who choose to come to the UK. We cannot afford to lose them. The time to act is now. Labour must stop its war on wealth creators, or it will be average taxpayers who pay the price with lost jobs and tax revenue." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.